Hey guys, I'm Mezzy, and this is the guide for the Paragons of the Klaxxi, the 13th encounter in the Siege of Orgrimmar raid. In this encounter you will fight all the Paragons you woke in the Dread Wastes. You fight 3 at a time, and once one dies, a new one will enter the fight. The next one that will join the fight is marked by the Ready to Fight buff. Because it is random every week which 3 start and the order they join in, you will have to learn per Paragon how to deal with them. After that, it's up to you to choose which one you want to get rid of first. I will suggest, however, to kill Corvin the Prime as soon as he spawns, and to save heroism for him. But more on him later. When a Paragon is killed, they can be clicked to receive a buff to help you out in the fight. Also note that when a Klaxxi dies, the other 2 go back to full health and receive a stacking 10% damage buff. So let's go over the Paragons one at a time. Starting with Kilrook the Windreaver. Kilrook puts a stacking debuff on the tank called Exposed Veins, increasing damage taken from Zariel the Poisoned Mind. This is merely a mechanic to prevent the Kilrook tank from also tanking Zariel. His next ability comes in the combination of 2 spells, namely Gouge and Mutilate. He incapacitates the tank and then does a high amount of damage. He also has Death from Above, flying up and then crashing into the ground to do damage in a 5-yard radius. His last and more important ability is Reeve. He will leap to a random player and spin around and do damage. When Kilrook is dead, a DPS can pick up Reeve. Using this will cause them to leap forward and then spin around to do the same damage. Next is Zariel the Poisoned Mind. This one has one of the more complicated abilities to deal with. He will inject players with one of 3 colors, red, blue or yellow. When he chooses a catalyst, he will choose one of the 3 colors, and the people injected with those colors will be affected. Red will cause people to explode for 400k damage, meaning people with the red injection will have to stay away from the rest. Blue injection people will explode for 800k damage, but it can be shared with one other person within 10 yards. In 25, and this can be shared with 2 others. Yellow injection people will drop void zones which have to be moved out of. To share the blue injection damage, have yellow injection people group up with them. That way when the catalyst blue is chosen, the damage will be shared, and when the yellow catalyst is chosen, those groups can move away from the void zones. Besides that annoying mechanic, Zariel has 2 other abilities. The first being a debuff called Caustic Blood, which is a stacking dot doing damage every 6 seconds. When it reaches 10 stacks, it will explode on the raid for 600k damage. The explosion will not happen if the tank uses active mitigation abilities. His second ability is another debuff increasing damage taken by Kilrook, simply meaning that the tank who tanks Zariel cannot tank Kilrook. When Zariel dies, a healer can pick up an ability from him called Vast Apothecarial Knowledge. When activated, all healing done will become a buff on the player. When they get hit for damage, all the stored healing will explode and heal them for that amount. Let's move on to Caustic the Manipulator. He summons hungry Kunchongs around the room which will be immune to damage due to their thick shell. When the Kunchong gains full energy, it will become mature and will need to be tanked and killed. The mature Kunchong has a powerful swipe ability that needs to be avoided. Caustic will mesmerize a player, causing them to walk towards a Kunchong. They will take 120k damage per second, and the Kunchong will gain 7 energy per second. When a player reaches the Kunchong, they will die and the Kunchong will get full energy. Mesmerize will stop when the Kunchong takes 30% of its health and damage. Only when mesmerized will the Kunchong be able to take damage. Caustic's only other ability is a sonic wave that needs to be dodged. When he's dead, a DPS can get a summon immature Kunchong ability from him. Now on to one of the most troubling Paragons, Corvin the Prime. Let's start with the ability that gives trouble, which is Encase Amber. When he or another Paragon reaches 50% health, they will be encased in amber. If this is not killed, it will then heal them back up to full health. Even with our high DPS, we had issues with it, so when Corvin spawns, kill him right away. When he reaches 70 or 60%, use heroism and get ready to nuke the amber and the Corvin down. Should you have already defeated Karaz, then you can use Hurl Amber to instantly destroy the amber. The other ability that makes Corvin hurt is the combination of Shield Bash and Vicious Assault. This will stun the tank for 6 seconds and deal 300k damage every 3 seconds. To top this, the tank will get a stacking debuff increasing the damage taken from Vicious Assault. When Corvin is dead, a tank can pick up Master of Amber, with which he can put a raid member in Amber for 5 seconds. We found this particularly useful to stop players from moving towards Konchongs when they are mesmerized. Moving on to Eok the Lucid. He has 2 abilities. The first is Insane Calculation Fiery Edge, with which he will link a few players together. This does more damage to them the closer they are to each other, so move away. This also seems to hurt the Klaxxi themselves, so get one of the beams to go through the Klaxxi you're killing. His other ability is Diminish, dealing 34% of a player's current health to them in damage. If they are under 25% health, they will be killed instantly. A healer can pick up Ingenious from his corpse, and when activated, any heal the healer does will be copied to players of the target's race and class. 5 down, 4 to go. On to Karaz the Locust. He will charge to random players, dealing 375k damage to anyone in his path, so don't be between him and another player. His other ability is Hurl Amber, with which he will jump onto a platform and throw Amber to the ground, which you have to move out of. DPS can get the Strong Legs ability from him, allowing them to jump to his platforms and throw Amber. This is the ability that can be used to destroy Corvin's Amber encasement. Moving on to Scare the Bloodseeker. He has 2 abilities, the first being Hewn, which is a stacking debuff increasing damage taken from Recall by 10%. This means that the Scare tank cannot tank Recall. His other being Bloodletting, which causes bloods to spawn which need to be killed. These will run towards a Paragon and heal them based on how much health the blood has remaining. 2 will spawn in 10 men and 3 on 25 men. We put marks in each corner where they can spawn and assigned DPS to them. If bloods did not spawn in their corner, the DPS would help out another corner. When Scare is dead, a DPS can pick up Bloodthirsty. When it's activated, it gives their attacks a chance to spawn blood orbs, which heal the player who walks over them for 10% of their maximum health. Scare's counterpart, Recall the Dissector, of course gives this tank a stacking debuff which won't allow the tank to tank Scare. Recall also has the ability Injection, which at 10 stacks will cause parasites to spawn. The addition of stacks can be prevented by using active mitigation abilities. If the parasites spawn, they will fixate on a player doing 100k damage per second. If they are not killed within 10 seconds, they will reset to full health. With his last ability, he will mutate a player into an Amber Scorpion. When a player turns into a Scorpion, they will take 50k damage per second and will be able to use 4 abilities. Claw is a normal damaging ability. Swipe is a cone attack, and its damage is doubled on targets that are affected by the third ability called Sting. The last ability they gain is Prey. This allows the player to kill a parasite instantly. When Recall is dead, anyone can click on him to gain his buff, which will turn you into the exact same Scorpion for 30 seconds. Although anyone can do so, I suggest a melee DPS gets this particular buff. Now let's go over the final Klaxxi, Hisek the Swarmkeeper. This is basically a hunter. He shoots at random people dealing damage. The only other ability he has is called Aim. He will knock a player back so that they are 45 yards away from him. They will then be stunned for 5 seconds. He will cast Aim, and when he shoots it, it does 1.4 million damage. This damage can be shared by standing in the line between Hisek and the player. You need to be at least 5 yards away from others in the line though, as when you get hit, anyone standing near you will take extra damage. When he's dead, a DPS can pick up Compound Eye from him. It deals more damage the further you are away. And more importantly, it increases your target's damage taken by 15% for 10 seconds. This is a fight where you have to deal with a lot of different abilities in a relatively short amount of time. Because every week the order of the Paragons should be different, the best way to go about learning this fight is learning to deal with the mechanics one at a time. So a recap on some tips. The Kilrock tank cannot tank Zariel and vice versa. The Scare tank cannot tank Recall, and again vice versa. When Corvin spawns, kill him immediately, and use heroism at 70 or 60% so you can quickly nuke the amber encasement down. Finally, use the abilities you gain from the Klaxxi to your advantage. Good luck with defeating the Paragons, because this is definitely not an easy fight. If you liked this video, please comment and subscribe. I'm Ezzy, and I'll see you again next time.